tonight on how the game went down?
We played well for the vast majority of the game. There was just a bit of letdown there at the end with a few turnovers. We settled for a few jumpers, and they got a few tricky ones, Verges and one, stuff in that vein. But we played very well as a unit, I thought.
First quarter, you guys shot 52%, and it dropped off after that. What did they do differently defensively that made that shooting percentage go down?
It was a bit of what they did, a bit of what we did. Like I said, we settled a bit for jumpers, and they had some guys really get into us and defending paint.
What do you take from this game? You guys really were in it, obviously, the whole way. You led most of the first half.
We've been competitive these past few ones, and that's something, I think that's a big deal, big part of what we've been doing. And, that's something we really need to take and just continue to do.
What makes LeBron so tough? I mean, we know he's really good, but can you sum it up?
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. I could stand here all day spouting stuff. But, trying to think of something he doesn't do well, it's still not coming to mind.
What do you think of the job that Chris did guarding him?
He did a good job, It's tough guarding him, and just the fouls they might call, it's always tough. But he did a good job staying focused no matter what the call was, no matter if he scored or not, and just trying to stay in front of him and make it as tough as possible for him.
What about playing against Shaq?
Like lifting weights, throwing elbows, bows, all that junk, but I was just trying to keep him in front of me as much as possible, and when he kicked it out, try not to let him repost.
Why is money
that's an analogy.
Right.
Yeah. Like the SATs? Yeah, they can put that one on there. Because LeBron is money.
Strong guy. I mean, strong. He's actually, he was. I thought I got him pretty good, but obviously not.
Do you get a sense of LeBron sometimes that he waits to see when he needs to take over the game?
I think he feels the game really well. Kind of sees when he needs to be aggressive. But with a guy like that, he sees the floor so well. He can beat you in a lot of different ways. I mean, he can score. But the way he passes the ball, he spreads out the floor, makes him even more tougher to guard.
It's a tough matchup coming off how well you guys played in the last game. Do you feel like you built off?
Yeah, I mean, I think we did some solid things tonight. Obviously, they're a top team for a reason. They have, their matchups are tough. I mean, when they spread the floor the way they do, they have guys who roll to the basket the way they do it. It makes it a tough cover for us to guard. But I thought we battled with them all night long.
Devin, one thing
tell Jimmy to take the day off.
Devin, one thing we talked about his aggressiveness since he's been back from injury. Tonight, did you see a little bit lacking there, or why do you think he didn't?
No, I mean, he has some open shots that didn't fall tonight. The shots that he's been making, obviously the previous couple games, they weren't there tonight. It's games like that. We like his aggressiveness, attacking the basket, and obviously he's one of our best shooters, so we need him to take those shots. And some nights they're going to fall, some nights they're not going to fall.
Got some really good shots. Then he took you out, and you never really got your rhythm back. Is that just the luck of the rotation, or what?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that one. First quarter, I just came out and I approach every game the same way. I can't lie if I say some games and some matchups don't, wake me up a little more. But I just came out the same mentality the first quarter. I'm not really sure what happened the rest of the game.
Is this the hardest team in the league to get shots at the rim against because of their size?
Probably the Magic. I say the Magic because they just have one guy, and he's really good at playing pick and rolls. But we try to put this team in pick and rolls with Z and Shaq, and then if you get to the rim, you're free at the rim. Dwight, on the other hand, is really good at playing the pick and rolls and protecting the rim. So, Cleveland's up there, though.
How about LeBron? How much of a force is he? I mean, I've seen a couple of times he just went to the hoop there, and he's just unstoppable when he wants to be,
Yeah, he's definitely a matchup problem because of his size and speed. And he creates contact. He's real good at creating contact. Once he gets ahead of steam, he creates the contact and gets in the line.
Any satisfaction in that you kept it close? At least, you played him competitively?
No.
Chris, you said that LeBron was your guy from the time you were a sophomore in high school. What did it feel like? You made a lot of good moves over him as well. What did that feel like?
It didn't really mean too much to me. Like I said, that's like one of my big cousins. So it doesn't really mean that much to me. But it would have meant a lot if we beat them. But it doesn't really mean much.
In spite of the Knick game, which was great because everything you guys threw up went in, you still feel your way around this offense and the team in general, where the ball belongs, how the shots should be distributed, how you should attack.
We're still trying to establish roles with E being back, with everybody pretty much healthy. We're still trying to establish roles. We have to recognize, the guys who are capable of scoring. We just have to realize that and get the ball to those guys, and that's offensively. But defensively is another story. I think we still have to focus more on defense, on the defense end.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah, how did you feel about that game? Seemed like that first quarter, you guys are really, really clicking.
Yeah, I thought that was, I thought we could have did a little bit better job. I think, we played on our heels a little bit too much. I don't think we were aggressive enough to win the game. But that's a battle-tested team. Obviously, they've got one of the top 2 players in our league. So against a team like that, you have to be pretty much flawless.
What was the difference from that first quarter when you guys are really rolling the offense and then until you basically the second half?
Well, no, I mean, I can't put my finger on it. I have to go and watch the game and evaluate the film. But, Varejao changed the game with his energy. LeBron making plays. And then the role players do a good job of playing around LeBron. They got Boobie Gibson who can make threes. Anthony Parker who can make threes. So they're a very well-coached team.
How difficult is it when you got a guy like LeBron? He can do so much in the game. It's not just his scoring.
Yeah, well, he's one of those guys who can affect the game in so many different ways. Obviously he's a nightmare to prepare for. And, we need superstars like him in our league. Him and Kobe Bryant is not even close to the best players in our game. And so that's good for our brand.
You almost feel like there's a time when you wait for him when he decides he wants to take the game over.
Well, I mean, he has that ability. He's one of the top 2 players in our league. So, and the thing about LeBron is he can dominate the game without necessarily scoring. So that's what makes him very nice.
How do you think Chris did guarding him?
Chris did a great job. He did a phenomenal job. Yeah. Don't you think so? You think so?
Yeah.
I agree with you. We agree.
Ken, what do you guys take from this game and then just moving forward?
Oh, just got
been better every time out.
Yeah, well, we still got to continue to get better, especially on the defensive end. As far as energy, we gotta find that from somebody. Guys have to just have a motor, especially as bench players. We have to just come out with a lot of energy and intensity and try and affect the game, try and change the game. All right?
Thanks. Against Devin Harris tonight. What that matchup was like?
I love going up against, point guards in the league, especially if they, premier point guards. I thrive for that matchup.
Talk about the way that you guys play defense in the end there when it really mattered and it came down to it. You guys kind of locked down.
That's what we do. We lock down. Defensively, that's where we lay our hat.
What did you guys do differently after the first quarter?
We just stuck to the game plan. We didn't do anything differently. I think we just, had to get in the game. They came out with a lot of energy, which we knew they would, and we just stayed the course, got the win. He's young, young point guard. He's quick. He's slow. He does a lot of things with basketball.
You have a conversation with E.
With E? Yeah. That's my guy. That's my guy. He got history. We was in Milwaukee together, so I wish him the best of luck.
Do you think he has something changed when he was some rookie?
Say again?
Do you think he has a some change?
Oh yeah. Being a rookie, you got a lot to learn, and he's still young. He still got room to grow. He's only going to get better.
Thank you.